pretty serious question. And it'll be the last question I ask before we have to move on to our next episode. Now, with the trans movement being so mainstream, how has that affected your sex and or love life? I want to start with Jamie, because I feel like Jamie, I feel like trans men are way more passable than a lot of trans women.
I don't know why. It's true.
I feel like if you would not make it knowledgeable to people that you are of trans status, there is absolutely
that's true, Allie.
There's no way that anybody would know. Whereas me, like, I'm pretty, but sometimes I may open my mouth and say something and they'll be like, ooh, that boy is a little clocky. Or, you know, the girls have it a little different than the guys do. So I'm very curious about how that's affected your love life, because I feel like if you and me were to go out, I probably would be approached as a trans woman at some point, way before you would be approached as a trans man. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. You know, I am one of these people, for whatever reason, I am oblivious sometimes when a woman is hitting on me, until like after the fact, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. So yeah, I mean, it's nothing. Sometimes I will just come right out and say it, because, you know, you got to test the waters. You got to find out.
For sure.
Because there are women that wouldn't want me because of the reasons that Tamara was talking about. You know, they want to be.
Totally. I mean, yeah, I got it too. You know, yeah.
Yeah. So, but throughout my life, I've had plenty of sexual partners, and they've all been very happy and satisfied.
Do you think since this whole trans movement has become mainstream, has it really affected your love life at all? I mean, I feel like it probably hasn't, right? Not really.
It probably made it better.
I don't think it would, because I feel like he was never really, people don't identify him as a trans person. So to everybody, like that, the whole trans movement doesn't even really apply to him, because nobody knows that he's trans. He's that passable.
And I can tell you this.
That makes sense, Allie.
I can tell you this. I have had sex with people that have no idea that I'm trans.
We gotta talk about that. Because no, listen, my girlfriend told me that too. Some of my post-op girlfriends have told me that too, and I don't even understand how that's possible. But okay, so what about you, Tara? How do you feel? Do you think since the whole you're in a relationship, and you've been in a relationship for quite some time, yes?
Well, it's kind of in an awkward stage at the moment.
Okay.
Because I was in a healthy relationship for a year and a half with a pansexual cis Black male. So I mean, it was just a point of my life as far as like I made a decision that it was time for me to just be single, because like it was like the relationship was healthy, but it wasn't growing in how I wanted the relationship to grow, and I always settled, you know, for.
Okay, and so since then, how do you feel your dating life has been going? Being
let me
ask you this: Are you openly trans?
Huh?
Are you an openly trans? Like, are you like let's say at your place of employment, do people know that you're a trans woman? Is it something that you've
Unfortunately, yes, because I work at an LGBTQ nonprofit, so unfortunately.
Okay.
My identity is pretty well known, so, and some people don't know, and they're still, you know, but the thing is, I just think that as far as, I think the awareness of people acknowledging trans people have made it just a little easier, I think, to move through society, but it hasn't made it easier as far as to date, no. But
I think it's harder. I think it's made it harder for me personally. Here's what I've learned. 10 years ago, I was a trans woman and nobody knew what a trans woman was.
Mm-hmm.
If for a man to know that I was a trans woman, I would have to either disclose it to him or he was knowledgeable in the subject. And by that, I mean that he had previously dated trans women or had engaged with trans women. I feel like it was a lot easier to date back then, because I feel like it was a lot easier for me to identify when a man genuinely interested in me, or when he was just interested in me because I'm a transsexual woman. In the transsexual culture, we have something called a tranny chaser. That's a guy that specifically goes after trans women because of their genitalia, you know, for sexual thrills, not because they value these women as women. And I feel like since this become so mainstream, like I've literally had guys that have told me that the only reason they're approaching me at the bar is because I'm a transsexual woman, which to me, to some people that would be flattering, but to me that's a little insulting, because that means you haven't even, it has nothing to do with the fact that I am pretty or the fact that I can carry a conversation or have anything else going for me. It's simply because you think, here's the thing too, it's because they think I'm a pre-op transsexual woman. You don't know if I'm post or pre. I have had guys that I've told, oh, I'm post just for the kicks of it, and they completely lose interest because what they were after was a pre-operative transsexual woman to fulfill some sort of, you know, fantasy that they had. So I feel like it's made it a little difficult, in my opinion, personally. Like, I have not gotten on a good date in a while, and I have been, like, very anti-men for a while since this whole trans movement. What about you, Tamara?
I would like, I don't know. I don't think it's affected my dating life because I normally don't, well, where I work at, nobody knows that I'm transgender. So it's like I'm around a lot of cisgender men. So I'm normally having to tell them that I'm trans, and that has been throughout my whole transition. I'm normally having to tell people, oh wait, let me tell you, blah blah blah. So this transgender movement is like, the only thing that's different now is like, oh, once I tell them, it's like, oh, okay, oh, I know what, you know, you're transgender. So they wanted to, oh, okay, this is what y'all do. This is what you do. This is the procedure with trans women. I have to tell them, no, that's not what I do. But before I reveal to them or convey to them or divulge to them my information or my personal status, they don't know. I normally date cisgender men, and I get a kick out of dating men that has never dated transgenders.
Yeah,
Because
same.
I mean, I really don't want to date the typical tranny chase, the, you know, for lack of better words, tranny chaser, because it's like, I know he don't want to date me because I'm a woman, and you know he want to date.
There's underlying intentions with that. Well, I want to say,
it's like I mean, you know, they got a habit of, and for example, really quick story, I dated a police officer. He, for a very short time, I thought I was going to be Real Housewives of Cops, baby. I really did. Until he broke it down to me, and was like, look, this is what I want.
and I know,
like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
We can't do nothing, girl, because I don't do that, you know? And it made me feel like, damn, like, I felt, and I don't want nobody to get offended, I felt like a transgender. I feel like a slutty, nasty trans.
Well, yeah, they objectify you. They make you feel like a piece of me that is a po person. But that's